Welcome back to MACFIT. Today we're going to emphasize legs and booty. All you need is yourself and your mats. Let's get started. Standing at the back of your mats, let's start with some roll downs and roll. 2, 3, 4, plie. And straighten. Rolling up. 2, 3, 4. Again, drop the head and roll through your spine. And plie. And straighten, rolling up, 2, 3, 4, good, again, drop the head, relax your arms, relax your neck, and plie, and straighten, rolling up, rolling down, walk your hands out to plank. Find that connection in your abdominals and walk back up to your feet and rolling back up. One more time like that, rolling down. Walk your hands out to plank and walking back up to your feet and rolling back up. Last time, drop your head, relax your arms, walk out to plank. Hold, and push back into downward facing dog. Move the hips, lift the heels, move what feels good. Get a nice deep stretch through your spine and the back of your legs. Find plank. Lower your knees down to the mat. We're going to find deep breaths. Breathing in. Release all your muscles and exhale and engage. Release. Engage. Release. Engage. Last time, breathing in. Engage. Keeping shoulders and hips square, we're going to lift our right arm and extend our left leg back. Find that balance. Hold. And lowering down. Opposite side, left arm lifts, right leg lifts. Hold your balance. Again and lower. This time, make sure that your abdominals and rib cage is engaged. And pulse, 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 pulse. Hold and lower down, keeping that center engagement, opposite side, and pulse, 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 and hold. Lower your arm, extend your back leg behind you, place your toes on the ground, and rock back and forth, stretching out that calf. Point your toe, extend that leg up, rotate over onto your left arm, shoulders are aligned, flex that foot, and we're gonna pulse, 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 making sure you have a straight line all the way from the top of your head all the way down to your foot. Keep going. Pulse, 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 and hold. Point your toe. Rotate back over onto both hands and place your knee back down to the mat. Extend the left leg back, rock back and forth. Point your toes, extend the leg into the air, and rotate over onto your right arm. Flex your foot and pulse, 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 keeping that rib cage engaged. Straight line from your head all the way through your hips to your toes. And pulse, 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 hold. Point your toes and hold. And rotate onto both hands. Slowly lower your foot onto your mat and bring your knees together. Go ahead and find your child's pose, finding a nice deep stretch through our spine and shoulders. Breathing out. Let's pick up the pace by rocking up onto our hands and back into child's pose. And exhale. Inhale. Right knee to right elbow, left knee, right knee. Keep that breath flowing. Very nice. Back up onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes, and find your plank. Keep that neck long, rib cage engaged, abdominals engaged. Don't over tuck your tailbone or keep it too lifted, but keep it in the nice straight line of your spine. And hold to your tailbone and walk your hands back up to your feet. Slightly bend your knees and roll up. Head's the last thing to come up. Very nice, you guys. Moving on, let's take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, drop your head and roll down. Walk your hands out to plank. Engage your rib cage, lower abdominals. Extend your right leg back, point those toes, and pull your knee up into runner stretch. Rock back and forth, opening your hips. And hold. Extend your spine all the way from the base of your tailbone through the back of your neck. Twist your spine, lifting your right arm up towards the ceiling. Lower your arm back down to the mat. Lift both arms by your ears. Lift your torso to the ceiling. Keep your back foot where it is, finding a slight bend, and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. Keeping your lower abdominals engaged, tucking your tailbone under, and lowering down. Place your right leg back to plank. Either lower your knees or keep them up, and 4 push-ups with our arms to our sides. 1 and 2. Get that chest all the way down to the mat. 3 and 4. Great, find your plank. Point your left foot, extend your leg 45 degrees, and pull it forward into runner stretch. Rock back and forth, find a nice open hip. Straighten that spine and rotate your left arm up to the ceiling. Getting a nice twist in our spine. Lowering down, arms up to your ears. Lift your torso up, keep your back leg where it is, and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. And extend your arms forward, leg back to plank, lower the knees if you'd like. Push up 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Very nice. Find your plank and walk your hands back up to your toes. A nice soft plie and rolling up. Very good. Let's do 2 deep neck rolls, both sides. Nice and slow. And other side. Let's get into some squats. Stand centered on your mat, hip width apart. Hands together, nice and slow, and lower. And lift. Tuck that tailbone as you straighten and lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. Keeping all of your muscles engaged. And lift. Tuck that tailbone. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. and lift, and lower, stay low, and pulse, 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 pulse. Keep your spine straight, pulse, pulse, pulse. You can do it, pulse, 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 and straighten. Right leg back into lunge, feet together, and side, feet together. Repeat back and side, nice and low, and back and side, and back and side. Switch legs and back and side and back and side. You can do it. Back and side. Last time, back and open hip width. Here we go, back into squats and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower and lift. Tuck that tailbone and lower and lift and lower. Squeeze those glutes and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower and hold. Small pulse. Keep it going. Breathe. And extend your arms forward, back straight, and fold over those legs. Shake out your glutes. And bend your knees, rolling up. Let's find a quad stretch. Grab your right foot behind, lift your left arm. Pull your foot close to your glutes. Release, grab your knee with both arms and pull up to your chest. Release your leg, lower down to the ground, bend your right leg, left leg is straight out to the side. Either flex or point that foot. Feel a nice deep hip stretch. Arms stay on the ground, lift your tailbone up into the air. Plie and roll up. Very good. Other side. Grab your left foot with your left arm. Right arm lifts up to the ceiling. And release. Grab your knee, pulling it up to your chest. Very good. Lower down to the ground. Bend your left knee. Straighten your right leg, flex or point that foot. And folding over both legs, tailbone up to the ceiling, plie and rolling up. Deep breath, lift your arms. Release, shake it out, very good. Let's find the center of our mats, lower down on our hands and knees. Let's take some deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale, engage all those abdominal muscles. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that center engagement. We're gonna lift our knee up at an 90-degree angle. Foot is flexed. Then we'll point that toe lower and open up to the side. Let's keep that going. Leg up to the back, foot flexed, lower down, toes point, and up to the side. Shoulders stay square, hips stay square. Try not to move that upper body. Last time to the side. Lift up to the back, flex the foot, and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. Point that toe, lower down, and up to the side. Pulse, 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 pulse. And lower. Opposite side, lift the knee, flex the foot, and point the toe, lift up to the side. Keep it going. Upper body nice and strong. Only using your glutes to lift that leg. One more time to the side. And back and hold and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. Point the toe, lift up to the side, pulse, 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 pulse. Very good. And lower down to the mat. And let's find a quick child's pose. Come on up. Let's go to our side. Right elbow on the floor. Knees bent out in front of us. Lift up those toes behind and open up to a diamond position. And open and close and open and close. And keep it going. Last time. Now watch as I extend my toes up to the ceiling, toes back together, and close my knees. Open the knees, extend the leg, back together, and close. Repeat. Make sure those toes are nice and lifted off the floor. Last time. And open, lift, lower, and close. Very good. Let's extend our bottom leg down to the mat. You can cross your knee over or place your toe by your knee. Lay your right arm down, left arm in front of you, and flex the foot and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. Keep it going. And point. Find small circles. Opposite direction. Again, reverse. And opposite direction. Very good. Lower the legs, sit on up with our knees to the side, and stretch up and over for a well-deserved hip release. And lowering back down, let's get to our opposite side. Left arm down to the mat, knees bent out in front of us. Feet together in the back, pointed toes. Lift those toes off of the mat. And we're gonna open up to that diamond position. And open and close. Open, close. Keep it going. Now as we open, we're going to extend that top leg, lower and close. Keep that going. Extend, lower and close. time. Extend, lower, and close. Straighten that bottom leg. Place that top leg. Lower the arm to the mat. Flex that foot and pulse. Pulse, pulse. Keep it going. And point. And small circles. Opposite direction. And switch. And switch. Very nice. Lower down, sitting on up, knees to the side. And stretching your arm up and over, getting that nice deep side and hip stretch. And lowering back down. Thank you so much for doing this workout today with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.